Alrighty traders, hello everybody, this is John Howell here. Welcome to another update of what's going on with the markets today. I'm telling you right now guys, so many amazing opportunities are happening just underneath our feet right now across all markets. And I want you to be very diversified on the markets that you focus on, right? I'm seeing so many people and so many individuals and so many traders focus on one market. They're like, I'm a gold trader, or I'm a this trader, or so on and so forth, right? Like I'm seeing that so much from here, and there's so much opportunity. And guess what? I'm going to be walking you through that in this video today. Traders, I'm giving free access to my complete trading course. The biggest mistakes you're making, the top chart reading techniques. I promise you, when you complete this trading course, one, it's free, first thing in the description. And secondly, I promise you, when you complete this trading course, you will have more knowledge than 95% of traders out there who blow up their trading accounts. I promise you that. First thing in the description there, guys, go check it out. It's free, right? Now, oh, by the way, guys, in that free trading course, the very first video you get is my actual trading system that you learn. And the very first video you get in the actual the trading course itself is the biggest mistakes you're making right now. So just go stop doing the mistakes so you can actually start to get ahead, right? Now, the one thing that we see across all these markets here, right? There's so many things happening right now. So we had nice, good green across all, say, the silver mining index there. A little bit of red today in the actual GDX and GDXJ today. Gold still picking up. I'll tell you right now, guys, gold, one more push in gold, and then it's game over. I see a really big drop. Yesterday's title, I said 30% crash coming in gold, and I do really mean that, and I do believe that's coming. But one more push in the upside, one more push, okay? If you see how things are working out here, this is how I see it working out. Same for gold as well too, and potentially even same for the stock market as well too. So across all these markets, I see one more push to the upside, and then it's game over, Red Rover. Here we go, and the way we go down there, right? And what's going to happen is this. What's going to happen is if I go to, say, for example, the gold chart, okay? This is the gold chart. Now, whenever you are viewing the markets, and whenever you're going down the path of seeing what's going on with these markets, one thing I want you to do is I want you to bring up the weekly charts, okay? So bring up the weekly charts, and if my software actually loads for me, that would be really nice, or that would be really good, should I say, for it to actually load for me. And you know what? While that's going on, let me bring on TradingView because my TC2000 software is saying, I don't want to load for you today. So anyway, I'll bring up my TradingView here. Right. So one thing I really want you to be focusing on is that one thing that I'm always looking at the markets is that where is the trend? What's going on right now? What's going on? Okay. And one thing that you'll notice here is that I want you to remove all the crap from your charts. All the hundreds of indicators that you're using right now, waste of time, guys. It's only confusing you. Notice my chart. What do I have? Chart and one moving average. You don't need all those indicators. You don't need the 200 day, the 100 day, the 50, the 20 for you to make a good trading decision. You don't need the stochastics, the MACDs, the RSIs, the Williams percentile, the Bollinger Bands for you to make a good decision. I'll give you a bit of a tip here. Firstly, you have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Secondly, if you have a moving average and the moving average is doing this on ya, well, guess what? There's a high probability that going with that moving average is going to increase your success rate. One rule. See what I'm saying here? And this is where like so many traders and so many people just make it so much more complicated. Now, by the way, bit of FYI, I understand, right? I've been trading the markets for 20 years. My first 5 years, I was going through the discovery phase. Yeah, a lot of you traders are probably there right now, right? 5 or so years. You've gone through the discovery phase. Now, what is the discovery phase? The discovery phase is like, what is this thing? I was there too. Stochastics. Or heck, I even had a double stochastic moving average and Bollinger Bands. And it's like, guess what? I sucked big time. Now, the most important thing to me now is what? Is the market and what's going on with the markets here. So when it comes to gold, one more push to the upside. Why? Well, the trend's still up. Nice, good higher lows. We're developing this here. One more push to the upside, maybe up to 4,000. And then guess what? Then we can start to see the final push before a 30% crash. Now, where do I get that from? If we do indeed start to get, I'm just trying to get this in for you. If we do indeed get the move up to 4,000, okay? Let's just say we have one more push to the upside, which I do believe is coming. And no, this is not the start of it doubling, right? No, we're not going to go from 3,000 up to 6,000. That's not coming. Not yet anyway, right? That's later on. Then we see from that point there, then I see this market from there potentially having a 30 to 40% drop from there to there, right? Now, all that would be is that if I'm right, all that would be is just a nice, good, healthy, maybe a good down to this point through here to this point through here, right? And then we have, as you can see, and then that would simply be an overall move, right? Now, as you see, how I'm doing this is an overall flow of market structure. What are you going to call that, right? Market flow. Now, how do markets flow overall? And you'll notice this here. Now, look at this market here. Notice this thing, right? And this is where, like I'm saying, like what we're seeing right now in the markets is we can see that, check this out to here, right? Look. So even though we had a very big up move through here, look eventually what happened, right? We eventually came down to what? Around about 50% of that move. In fact, let's actually do this here. From that major low to major high, look what ended up happening. We actually we actually went down to what? The 50 to 60%, held there for a while and continued up. And that even happened just recently as well too. Oh, not recently, but that even just happened just through here, right? So through there and through there, look what ended up happening. So if I zoom right in right now and I go before here, look what ended up happening. Before this big breakout, right, actually, you know what? Let me take you off the screen here for a minute. Before this big breakout, look what ended up happening, right? We ran up, came back down 50%, held, bull market continue. So what I'm saying is that wherever it ends, 3,000 now, 4,000, I don't know. One thing I do know is, or one thing I'm really confident with, should I say, no one knows what's going to happen, right? I don't know what's going to happen. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong. So don't go place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video right now, right? Use trading systems for your advantage, not a YouTube video, right? Guess what? Bit of a tip for you guys, right? I've been trading the markets for 20 years. Bit of a tip for you guys. Every single person you're watching on YouTube, including this guy, has no idea what's coming. But I can use the techniques to give me a high probability of what's coming, and that's all I can rely on, right? So if you go watch a YouTube video and like, oh, I'm going to go long gold right now because John said it's going to 4,000. Don't. Anyway, long-term picture, I see the same thing again. Wherever it peaks, if we have a nice move up to 4,000, we're probably going to see this big drop down to here, right? And that could ultimately lead up to what? Around about a 30% drop. But that's what I see happening, right? Because that's a cycle and that's where things go and that's a big cycle there. Now, here's the thing. One thing I do see is that is now what I like to call, now we're starting to talk from thing, right? And as you can see, it's just the same thing, right? We go up and we have a pullback overall. I have up, pullback, up. We're going to get something like that, right? It's just, see how this market flows? So just expect it, right? Now I know some of you guys, some of you bumblebees in the chat box below, right, are hoping this thing's going to continue up. One thing you want to do is you want to seek the truth regardless of appearance. Right, one of the things I'm always talking about with my inner circle group, which I'm with them every single day. And by the way, guys, that second link in the description, you can apply for that. Over there, you can see some, more about it and some feedback about other people, testimonials about people who've actually done my coaching in the past as well too and what they thought. And if you scroll down to the bottom, there's actually a full article there about my story and who I am personally. So if you want to know more about me personally, Then secondly, in the description, scroll right down to the bottom, you'll be able to see an article there. And then that's also the application page to join my coaching. And one thing that I'm always saying to people is that one of the biggest mistakes that I made for so many years is like, la 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 la. All right, no, that's not going to happen. No. All right, and so oblivious and turning a blind eye to the opposite to what I wanted to happen, right? And, this happened so many times in my trading career, right? I'd be long a market, and anyone that said the market was going to go down was an idiot, was a moron. They had no idea what they're talking about, and anything out there. Now, that was back in the day, right? That was like 15 years ago. Now I'm a lot smarter. Now I seek the truth. And what is the truth? This is how markets flow, right? And that even from a weekly chart perspective, we have a bull market for a few years, and then we might go sideways for a year, and then we go for another. Like, that's what markets do, right? But just seek the truth regardless of appearance. Regardless of what you want to, no matter what you think, hope, or fear, let's just see what's likely to happen to these markets. No guarantees. So therefore we can start making much better decisions. Make sense? Because one of the biggest mistakes, the reason why I sucked big dog's rear end so long, now I'm getting a little bit better. Right? I did it for so long was because I was just so oblivious to these market flows. If I could just understand this thing, then I can just expect it to come. When it comes, one, I can stand away, so I'm not standing in front of a train. Secondly, when it does come, I can look for a good buying opportunity because then I see something like that going on. Now, the reality is what? When I see that there, what do I actually really mean, right? I really mean this here, right? Bottom, up, higher, low, high like that. I've actually got a 10,000 target on gold, right? But I see something like that going on. Now, the time references is not there. I see this happening here probably by early 2030s. That's what I see coming, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, yeah, we've had a big up move. But if you just look at the way these things work, whenever we do go vertical, right? Look at this back here. It's just happens all the time, right, guys? Again, see how these markets flow, right? Eventually, when we go through these vertical moves, we eventually, Howard Marks talks about that markets always revert back to the mean. Now, revert back to the mean, one thing that I'd see from that is the mean is always, if we're overstretched one way, big bull market for a few years, look at this here. This is where it's just so good, isn't it, guys? Right? Here we go. This low to high back in the 80s, where did it revert back to? It revert back to where? The mean, 50%. Things are too out of balance, way too out of balance, right? And this is where you start to get these boom, 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 boom. And look what happened. Then we came back to the mean. We actually had a pretty big drop through here. And then we went sideways again. And then as you can see, from this low point through to here, to this high point up here, right? Look what happened. That low point there, big bull market for quite some time, came down to the 50% level. Held. Revert back to the mean, right? Then we came up to here. We also do know what happened through here, right? If I go back from this absolute major low point from here to here, that low point there to there, as you can see, and I bring this on, I zoom this right in now, as you can see, what happens? We eventually revert back to the mean. Now, this is many months and many years in the making big picture. I'm trying to share with you what's likely to happen on the big picture so we can step back, so we can get ready for it. No, I don't see this happening today, tomorrow. This is looking at over many weeks and sometimes even a year or two for it to happen. And one thing you'll notice about all these markets across the board is, guess what? When they go through extended bull markets, they need a bit of a cooling off phase. You just see it, right? You just see it. So, one, I wouldn't want to be shorting it, but two, why am I saying this? One, we're probably likely to revert back to the mean. So if we do get one more push to the upside, which by the way, FYI, I'm expecting, this is the actual chart here. So I'm actually expecting to see potentially, can I just make that? This is, all right. Oh, it's not there. Let me actually, not sync you in layout. But I'm actually expecting potentially a move back up to 4,000. Right, I'm expecting maybe something like that. That's actually pretty up through there. And now it may not get to 4,000, but I'm expecting one more push to the upside. then guess what? Game over. Game over for bulls, right? Because then we're likely to see something like that going on. And then guess what? And then we start to see this going on through here like that. And then we start to see a really big correction for there, right? So just see how this works, guys, right? Just see, you see what I'm saying here, right? Like we just need to see what's really going on here and give ourselves the best chances. Now, the problem is that if you are a day trader, you are completely missing the picture. Let me say something here, okay? Let me ask you a question. What is better for you? What is better for you for an actual trading the markets? Is it A, looking for a trading setup? Say you're trading $5,000, right? An example. And you're putting that $5,000 on. Is it A, looking for a trading setup every day that's likely to make you $200-$300, maybe $500 per day? Which one's going to give you the best chance of having a successful trade? Is it A, looking for setups that's likely to give you a chance of actually making $500 a day, as an example, out of that $5,000 investment? Or is it B, looking for opportunities that might take a month or two to plan out, but that $5,000 could turn into $15,000, $20,000 profit? Which one's likely to lead to a much better result? Now, again, guys, I'm not guaranteeing you're going to do these results. I'm trying to give you thinking strategies properly, because so many people are trying to focus on the first scenario. And you know yourself, day trading is the hardest form of trading. Don't do it. It's the hardest form of trading. No, you're not going to make a regular income from trading. And you're not going to make $500 a day from trading. No, you're not going to make $1,000 a week every single week from trading. It just doesn't exist. Why? Because market goes through cycles. And no matter what you're trading, there's going to come periods of time when the market goes quiet, meaning there's not a lot of trades for a week or two, even if you are day trading. And then see what I'm saying here, right? But the best form of trading is what? The best form of trading is seeing the forest from the trees, maybe trying to look for an entry out of gold and then maybe looking for a nice, good couple of week trade out of gold. Or maybe stepping aside, waiting for a couple of years, being patient, maybe waiting for something like this, because then now there's a likelihood of actually picking up over the next 2, 3, 4 years and having a really big move. That's when we start to see significant moves in the markets, right? So many traders are doing strategies of make money now or make money this week. One, but then also, and secondly, they're doing strategies like spread strategies, right? Where they're spread strategies, or they're doing writing option strategies for 30 days, or even sometimes worst case scenario, they're doing it for 1 week. That's just not a good idea, right? Long-term success, guys, I'm telling you right now, it is not the right way to go. And the reason I'm saying this is because I used to trade like that. I used to be the day trader. Now, I used to go down to what's called a tick chart. I went all the way down to a 44 transaction chart. A 44 transaction chart. What does that mean? That means one transaction could be 10 contracts. The next transaction could be 30 contracts. The next transaction could be 1 contract. The next transaction could be 100 contracts, right? It's called a transaction. Whatever transaction went through, that's called a tick chart. I even went down to that there. I used to trade that. And the indicators, the stochastics, and I used to sit in front of the screen. Again, guys, first thing in the description, go get access to my free trading course. The very first video you get, I talk to you about my story here, about this here. And I used to trade this way. And it was the hardest form of trading out there on the planet. The hardest form of trading. So big picture, this is why I see gold is about to crash 30%. But first, we're like to see one more. And then this is now, again, this, no matter what, one of the worst mistakes that I'm seeing people make, and traders make, is they're inserting, but John, you don't understand. And then they insert reasons why. But if you actually look at the markets in the last, 50 years of all the bulls and bear markets and crashes and all that sort of stuff, and you notice that there's a rhythm to these markets without the crap of what you think. But John, you don't understand. The central banks are buying right now. And if they're not selling, how can we get a drop in the markets? Look at the way the markets work. This time is not different. Listen to the legends, right? One, Howard Marks. He always says what? We eventually revert back to the mean. What is the mean? As you can see here that I talked about here, 50%. Now, this is not just gold here, by the way. This is for the stock market. This is for all markets. You see this time and time and time again, right? Look at this here. Da, 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 da. Right, it's all the same thing in it, guys. Look at this here. Market went up for a few years. What ended up happening? We had what? We had a reversion back to what? The mean. What does it mean? 50% retracement, right? And then we had another really big move to the upside. Look at this here. And then we had, then the next big bull market was from there, right, to there. And as you can see, look what happened. Came down 50%, revert back to the mean, and then now we're continuing back up again. You see what I'm saying here, right? It's like, and okay, guys, what am I looking at here? I'm looking at a big weekly chart, right? So firstly, for you guys that are long-term investing in gold, expect what's coming up in the next 12 months. Initially, we might get some more upside, right? And then you're going to hear the FOMO kicking in and, oh, you're missing out on what? No, stop, right? Look at the forest from the trees. Now, again, I don't know this is definitely going to happen, right? But there's a massive probability we're likely to see this happening. There's two reasons why this. If this does happen next year, or now into next year, maybe the year after, of a really good pullback out of the markets. Now, it may be fast or it may be slow, right? Slow simply means it may slow this stair step down like this here. If it's slow on the downside, therefore it's going to be long in time. If it's fast on the downside, it's going to be faster in time. So see how we actually had the reversion back to say this was a 50% retracement. This here's a 50% retracement here, right? Notice the two different ones. This one here, because it was fast, it was like a really big rainfall for about a month or two, really fast on the downside. They end up, the reversion happens really quick. So they end up tipping, come down to here, and then we end up getting a nice bounce really quickly. So the faster it happens on the downside, the faster it recovers from there. The slower it happens on the downside, meaning it just slowly stair steps down. As you can see here, we don't get any waterfall effect and any like a black swan type waterfall effect, then that typically takes longer in time. And so therefore, depending on what happens with gold, if this happens in gold, then guess what? Then we could actually start to see, it may take a year or more to filter through that process if we do just slowly grind down to the mean, which is 50%, and then so on and so forth from there. Make sense? So I want to talk to you about a few different markets that I see some amazing opportunities that are coming around the plate right now. And you check and see what actually happened with NVIDIA. What happened with NVIDIA? NVIDIA is actually down, I'm pretty sure. Where's the post? Okay, so it's down just slightly. Nothing too much, nothing too big. By the way, guys, bit of FYI, same thing for NVIDIA, right? If you just see up, you apply the same analysis to all markets out there, right? If we've gone through a vertical move already, guys, you've missed out on the boat. All vertical moves, and it's actually quite a simple process, right? When you really think about this here, every single vertical move eventually goes to an end. So even if we do start to see one more push to the upside, we're getting towards the end of this move out of NVIDIA. There's been so much talk on NVIDIA, right? Why? You know, and again, like this is NVIDIA here. And if we just look at NVIDIA and we look at all markets, how do they work? So you can really understand the process. Is that when we go for a move for a while, we're going to go for a pullback. We go for a move. The market doesn't just go straight up, right? Look at this here. So even if we've got to move to the upside, you know what's coming soon, right? Another one of these, another one of these. Right? So you just see how it's just understanding here. Now, by the way, FYI, you see how this is how markets work, right? This is the flow of the markets. And when you understand this, half the battle is making all these mistakes. You're getting just getting in at the wrong time. And most traders get it at the wrong time. Why? Because they think what has done really well, oh my goodness, the video keeps going up. Oh my goodness, I better get in. Oh my, FOMO. And then you get smacked in the face. Why is that? Because that's, never get into a big bull market. If this thing's been going up many months like it has right now, you know what's coming, right? So let's go check out now things like, I want to check out silver here right now, guys. So silver's actually holding up quite nicely from here. This is just obviously different time frames here. This is the silver price here. Let's check this out to here. So we can actually see this is silver. So there's probably a good high probability we're going to start to head up to around the 43 to 44 level, maybe even a bit higher from there. But then it's probably going to end. So it looks like silver could actually have one more push to the upside. Gold have one more push to the upside. If we have a look at the GDX as well too. So the GDX. And we can go down here and we can look at this here. From that there. And again, let's go to GDX. It's not. Right, there we go from there, right? Why is it not loading up for me? Okay, it's not loading up for me. Oh, man. Okay, so we can see that through there, right? Again, it's not loading up for me. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. GDX. There we go. We're back now. All right, so GDX right now, big move up from here, and so I'm expecting to see I'm expecting to see another move to the upside from here. As we can see from there. So another push to the upside, but we're getting towards the end of that move as well. GDXJ is this one here. So, and again, even from the mining perspective, we're probably getting towards the end of this move here real soon. And why do I say that? Because look at this move up, right? So we may have one more push to the upside that gets us to around about that level from there. Right, so maybe that point from there to there. If I look at SIL as well, the SIL, I'm looking at this one here from this perspective of, let's go back to, SIL. This is the one here. So looking at the SIL, you can see how there's actually a bit of resistance and support around that level, around the $60 level, maybe even a bit higher. So it looks like maybe that $60 to $62 level is where we could actually end up heading up there. But just bear in mind, guys, once again, when we're looking at these mining sector, guess what? This has been really just one up move from here. If we do get an up move from there, we're likely to get some form of a pullback because that's what markets do. See what I'm saying here, right? Like that, look, market go up and market go down. A market go up and market go down. A market go up. You know? We may get to 62, we may even extend a bit higher. And then we get a drop from here. Why do we get the drop? You know the trend is your friend until the end, right? Well, the drop in a big bull market has to go down to form the high low. Market go up, it has to come down to form, higher lows are upward trend. No, John, tell me something new. Okay, if that's the case, every time we get a drop here, don't freak out. Because it could just be making a higher low. And then we have another drop here. And then a higher low. You can see this here. Low, low, higher low, higher low. And we could be just doing that here. So this leg here, understand that there's higher lows. And then there is extensions. There is like how that's formed, right? We go up for a bit. We come down for a bit from there as we speak from there. So let's just have a quick look around. So yeah, one more push to the upside, guys. One more push to the upside out of the stock market. One more push out of gold. One more push out of silver. There's one more push coming out the next couple of months, I believe, out of all these markets. And then tell you what, guys, man, then we're going to start to talk about some serious pullback. So right now, while everything's rosy and things are looking pretty red on the rose, right? Things are looking good. The rose is smelling fresh. Everything's looking good. And we push to the upside and the FOMO is going to kick in even more, right? There's going to be so much FOMO across the markets with all these markets from here. So anyway, traders, that's it for me today. Have an amazing day. Be prepared for what's likely to come and get ready for some amazing opportunities.